Yes,
We are
ready to go. Good morning. 3, 2, and 1. And good morning to the Pound Hour, LB Hour, as we like to say affectionately. But good morning to you, Brian.
Good morning.
It's me, Lonnie. I'm the L, he's the B, and I apparently am lost this morning. I'm lost in my computer, and I'm hiding myself because I get lost easily, apparently, in life. And you know what about life and a computer, the difference is? It's just about all the same nowadays. But I literally have always enjoyed getting lost in the world. So what I mean by that is if I go somewhere, Seattle, Portland, New York, I enjoy getting lost because I find my way out of there and then I know my way around much better. Such as this last weekend, I was in Boise, Idaho, and had absolutely no clue where I was going, but I have a sense of direction of some sort, and I don't get lost that much. I mean, it may take me another half an hour to get somewhere, but I don't get lost, you know what I mean? I don't ever fret about it. However, when I get lost in the computer world, doing like emails and like my phone has locked me out of Facebook, which I have about 12 pages that I administer and help on. And I'm at the mercy of whoever is at the end of Google or at the end of Facebook to fix my shit because I can't do it. I'm lost, and it locks me out of all my stuff. Boom, boom, boom. It's just horrible. So, as we know, a few minutes ago, actually, I was Brian here was trying to get onto the Pound Hour information, and I apparently had locked that out as well. But getting lost is do you ever get lost, Brian?
Oh yeah. I get lost in like trying to do sound stuff. Yesterday I was trying to do audio chords and all that. And you get lost, kind of forget what you're even doing.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Well, my problem is passwords, and so I have a tendency to just use the same password over and over and over again until it demands me to change it. It'll say, "Hey, change your password, you moron," and I'm like, "Okay, how about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 B?" You know, some stupid stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 C, whatever it is. You start doing that stuff. I have figured out a way to do it though, as I thought I did, which was I started doing early on in life. It was 4 letters or 4 numbers you got to use. So instantly, this is bad, but there's a the banker told me, I kid you not, very pretty girl, and I was very young. I was like, I don't know, 13. So there you go, and I don't come up with too many words at 13, but she was, I need 4 letters, and I thought she was flirting with me at the time. So of course, I always think every woman's flirting with me, of course, but I gave her 4 numbers that it was like a 4-letter word, boom, which about what I thought about her. So it was like, for the next 20 years, my password was bad word to a girl, like, geez. And then I didn't have bad words for years and years and years, and then finally had to change them, thank goodness, I guess, But the bad words all stick in your head, and that's how my passwords were. And they were because I had to change everything to password plus, plus a number, plus a exclamation point, or plus a whatever it is, And you gotta say a sentence nowadays. On some things, you have to say a sentence. You know that? You have to say an actual, like a small little phrase. So it's getting worse and worse. But you think I remember these things? I've got too many passwords in my head. Too many secrets and too many passwords. That's a big thing.
You need an IT person to come in and help you out just one time.
Yeah, but I'd probably use them and abuse them. I probably shouldn't do that. I mean,
somebody that's organized, they deal with the same stuff all the time. People, all the same problems. People forget.
I know.
Passwords.
The problem about this is that, I kid you not, just 2 weeks ago and last week, and like 3-4 days ago, I had this conversation with my daughter. I kid you not, about passwords. And she said, "Dad, you need to use this password protector." Yada yada. She was telling me to do it, and I keep saying I'm going to do it, and now now that I have dementia and do not recall any of my passwords, I do, but it's not. But if you don't remember one, you don't remember any of them. It's stupid.
But you
So,
don't want to have too many accounts too. If you have too many, like I have,
oh, I've got so.
yeah, I just have my regular email. I do have one other that I almost want to get rid of. That's it, just two personal and one LB. But if you got 6 or 7, you're messed up.
Oh yeah, I've got more than 6 or 7. I've got quite a bit. I do my high school face page. I do a couple different promotional pages that I do for people and for other things. And yeah, and I've got like 10 probably places that need passwords, at least a dozen actually in the computer alone. So
You should get it to all your emails for every project goes to your personal, because you're you first. So otherwise, you have to change. You have to go and get emails from 10 different accounts. That's not good. You want one account, and then you can figure out what each thing's for.
yeah, but
Maybe
let's say if I'm doing a Facebook page for starting one for the LB hour, so then I have a password for the LB hour. And I do one for, so then it may go back to my.
Talk about emails like Gmail. Don't have 10 of those. You only need one.
Well, you wouldn't think so, but there's so many projects. You're like, okay,
Yeah,
well,
they can all go through one email. You can have 50 projects on one personal email.
oh, yeah, my email probably has 25,000 emails in it. I don't know, a lot that I've just junk mail because I've gone through most of my mail, so which really sucks because you don't throw away one of them without. I sit there all day long. Sometimes I'll sit there for just an hour going through emails and just delete. Delete. So, anyways, but that's where I get lost.
Organization. You need a
Organization, absolutely. I get lost in the computer world. That's most definitely.
It's tough.
And organization is not my forte, if I was to say, at all. So that's the problem of being I don't know, maybe a head injury or a stroke, or maybe I don't think I ever was actually too organized, but definitely not as much as I am now. So
Yeah.
just not lackadaisical, but kind of on certain things. So
Yeah, I'm working on that. So what I've done is just reduce the amount of things, like just the amount of projects, the amount of things, bring it down and simplify.
yeah. I think it would take a gun to simplify my life. I hate to say that, but shit. Wow, I try, but
We just have to make a conscious effort to cut back some stuff. If you have 3 or 4 things going, it's fine. But if you have 20, you're messed. You're not gonna make it.
yeah. Hey, speaking of Lost, which was a show back in 1994, I think, or something like that. Anyways, kidding. It wasn't a very good show. I didn't like it at all. If you watched Lost, I got lost in the 3rd episode or 3rd season. It was weird. Lost was kind of cool at first. It was, and the old shows there. And Heroes. If you remember Heroes, the show by any chance? I like that one. That was kind of cool. Now, but have you ever been lost anywhere, Brian? Besides in your computer work?
Yeah,
or in your,
many cities.
anything come to mind you can remember?
I've been lost in LA many times, driving and getting in tough neighborhoods, and probably that's the most cities. I would say LA. It's a big city.
Lost in like Watts or something?
Kind of that area. I got in some places that were just too far away and too, not welcoming for me.
Yeah, I remember as a kid, I remember walking home from the other side of the lake, which is maybe about 5 miles from my house at the time, 4 miles from my house. But I thought, you know what? I had a big dog coming after me, and I was running around the neighborhood. Next thing I know, I'm lost. I'm like, what? And I found my way out of it, but I literally think that I had to go to. I looked for a person that I know, which of course, you don't know anybody. So, but I had to go by the smell of Longview. It was like the closer I got to the smell as a kid, our town used to stink, folks. Used to smell pretty bad, and I was trying to walk uptown, I didn't smell anything. If I go towards my house, I could smell the stench of the mills. It was bad, but I knew that's where I was headed home by the smell. And I don't know. I've been lost a few times from the big cities, but
Yeah,
I enjoy it because I have gas and I've got a car. Getting lost and you're walking in a big city, I don't think, unless I was in New York where you can't see anything. Those are the big. Even in Las Vegas, the skyscrapers in certain parts are so tall. The monuments and stuff are so big in that little defined area right there. It's hard to find out where you're at, but it can be scary for certain. But that's my
yeah.
that's my little thoughts on Lost. There you go. Anyway, hey Brian, I do have some questions for you today, though.
Yeah.
By the way, yeah. What are you working on?
Oh, well, I was just thinking about Lost. Oh, hey, trying to find a video coming up.
Okay, well, Lost. Oh, Lost, the TV show.
Yeah, that show Lost. So many people got into it. I watched it a couple of times. Just never worked for me, but I could see why people would love it though, because it was
Yeah.
what happened, what happened to them, and all that. So.
I don't know. I know that it didn't work for me. But it worked for everybody else, I guess. I don't know whatever happened to the lost people. Did they remain lost, or were they found, or?
I think they died in the plane crash. They died in the crash, is what I think. That's what I read. It seemed like
they got lost in the plane, and they just basically were.
They were never lost. They just died. Is what I recall reading. I don't know. Maybe look that up sometime. But it seems like they just died on the plane. And that was
well, that's a bummer. Boy, had some good characters on there that died. Apparently, I didn't realize that. But it makes sense. That would make more sense. Everybody else is lost, but everybody else is dead. Horrible, folks. I don't know. There's another TV show that came out at the same time. I think was it was one of Stephen King movies they made into the Asylum, I think it is, or something like that. But it was pretty good. It was really good, I thought.
I like the 1482. That was some great Stephen King.
Oh, the movie? Yeah.
Yeah, the book.
1408?
Yeah, 1408, the book and the movie.
I don't know if I read the book on that one or not. I don't think I did. But I liked the movie with John Cusack. That was really good.
Yeah. All right, what are these questions?
What are the questions? The questions of the day came from womenshealthmagazine.com.
Nice.
What's one thing that could instantly make your day better?
A package arriving on time would be good. I got one scheduled for today or tomorrow, and I hope it's early, actually. When stuff happens the way it should.
Stuff happening the way it should. Package delivering on time. Well, that's pretty good. I think I wasn't sure if you meant that package being metaphorical or actual.
Well, that's real. Or when something happens the way it should. That's why, this morning I got real frustrated. I had to calm down because I go to my YouTube and I went,
oh, yeah.
Password's been changed. My first thought is you changed it, hopefully, because otherwise it's been hacked. So
yeah.
20 minutes that I didn't handle well, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, no, it asked me. Well, anyways, yeah, but I get that.
Things just work. Things worked this morning mostly.
Yeah, things that can make my day better. The smile of a pretty woman.
There you go.
Oh, sends my heart afloat. Yeah, just I say that now because, in all honesty, that would make my life better, my day better. You know what? Now, when I lived in Seattle, what made my day better, actually, I'd be going, because I was always on the highway, on I-5 and stuff, and I kid you not, probably at least once a week, I would see, and maybe it was Tom on the radio, Tom, what was his name? Tom Likas show, right?
Yeah.
So they do this Flash Friday, and they got all these girls flashing people in the cars on my Fridays. I was like, this is funny, but I was like, heck, made my day better. I'm on the road. I'm seeing something I shouldn't see, and that's whenever you do something like that, it always makes the guys, I don't know, every guy, but makes a person smile, you know what I mean? No big deal, no harm, but no harm, no foul, but yeah, it makes you laugh, you know?
Well, you know what else can make somebody's or my day is like sometimes you'll have a thing coming up, say you have something at 2 and you really don't want to do it because you have a project. They cancel at 9 a.m. They're out for the day. Canceling actually can make your day.
Make
Just
your
maybe you
day,
have too
yeah,
much
depends
going
on
on.
if you, yeah, absolutely. If you, as long as you're not getting paid for it, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like this morning, because I blew a tire the other day, I had to cancel with my therapist this morning, my physical therapist down in Portland. And it did make her day. I canceled, but I'm sure that she's like, blah, 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 you know, she'll give me a ration of crap next time I see her, which is
Yeah.
not cool. But, you know, it is what it is. I couldn't do anything about it until this afternoon. I'll get the tires on my car, so.
The earlier you cancel, the better, though. That's
Yeah, I canceled last night when well before then. But you're right. Give you something else to do. Unless it's right beforehand, then you can do you cancel and make everybody kind of like, oh well, I got an hour to spend, you know, versus
yeah.
hmm.
Well,
I
sometimes you get caught up in a project, it turns into a 3 or 4 hour project, but you got a thing and right in the middle, you got to stop, change your clothes, whatever.
Oh, 100%. I hate that when you just waste time. Although in business, I would actually take that time, and so let's say I had clients constantly in real estate world, I had constantly clients who would, they have clients that would call and cancel my meetings every day. I kid you not, it was happening probably every other day. I had somebody cancel on me, which is okay because they're so busy. But I also had backup meetings or something like that, you know. So if I took one of my employees to go meet somebody and they canceled, I would still take that time, spend that time getting personal with that employee.
Yeah,
You know?
that's good.
Yeah. But me and the employee would go meet with a real estate agent to we can go to lunch with them, and that also they cancel. I would still take that person out to lunch, and then have them and I ask them questions about them and see how, you know, instead of asking questions about the our client, I would ask questions about our employee, because that way it builds that relationship with me personally, you know. And so that's why I was so tight with my team. Actually, I was made a team. It was never about me. It was always about the team. It wasn't about one person. So it was also about the team. And I
Yeah,
think people realize that. So
that's a good idea, though. If you say you meet with the employee, and now you guys can even discuss the client, what your
oh,
strategy,
100%, yeah. And
find out how they think a little bit, the employee.
yeah, actually, I would have my team get together, and individually, I'd say, who are your top 10 leads? Who are your top 10 people you want to get rid of? Who are the top 10? You know, I'd say these things and ask them questions. Ask questions in life. It's all you got to do is keep on asking questions, and people will. If they ask you the question and you can't respond to it, basically, if you can't help them, that's one thing. But at least you know about it. The more you know, the better.
Yeah, that was actually, isn't that like a PSA on NBC? The more you know.
Yeah, the more you know. That's right, absolutely, 100%. I'm all about knowing more about people and life, you know. Is there any product that you couldn't live without?
Well, I'd say, well, not really, not a product. I mean, water, but I guess water, I pay for my water.
Well, there you go. Is it a product? It kind of, I guess, right?
Yeah, I pay for it every day. Well,
Yeah.
I pay for it every day. I get charged every day.
I think, Brian, that being that I know you so well, the water that you drink is basically the reason why you don't drink water. You filter it through beans, and
I drink water too. I drink tap water and bottled water. Got the bottled water right here.
he's got to make folks, that's the actual bottle, baby bottle right there. You just no, That's good. I drink more water myself, actually.
I got a friend that takes a gallon jug. You know, Grumboys. He shows up to play basketball. He has a gallon jug of water. It's a good
Hey, if
move.
you're gonna drink that much water, do it. Absolutely.
Yeah, but don't bring it out on the court while you're playing. I think that's just rude.
You know, people do. They should drink more water. 100%. I mean, I talk about it, and I always think about it, but I don't ever do it. I drink water a couple times a day, but everybody should drink water more because I'll tell you what, even like when you're going to give blood, you think you're gonna, you want to drink more water because that way your veins are more plump.
Yeah.
And it's true. And your facial, your skin is so much better when you drink water. I mean, I have friends and people I've been involved in, and their skins are, maybe they drink too much. I don't know, but it's very dry, and it doesn't, you don't want to lay next to somebody who's got dry skin. The whole skin is dry. So if you're not drinking a lot of water,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Irrigate, hydrate.
Irrigate and hydrate. You're right. That is absolutely right. I think that that's very important. One of the products that I can't. Is there a product I can't live without?
Well, I was going to say quickly, I could live without coffee, but I wouldn't want to.
Right. Well, that's truth, though. I could live without. Is there a prized possession? I don't know what my prized possession would be if I have a prized possession. And how do you take your coffee, by the way? Is it black?
Usually, but I like a half and half once in a while. I'll do flavored creamer. I like the caramel macchiato at Starbucks.
See how we enunciated that, folks? A caramel macchiato.
Yeah.
That's
caramel macchiato is something.
Macchiato, yeah, I think it's macchiato.
Macchiato.
I don't know.
No, it's macchiato.
Is there?
It's kind of like picadillo.
So, what is your most prized possession and why?
My sanity, because I've lost it many times and always regained it, so it means more.
But is that a possession?
Oh yeah, I own it.
It depends if you're possessed, right?
Well, you own your life, so I'd say it's my sanity and my mind. If you own your decisions and all that, because some people don't own anything.
No, I agree. So, I mean, you don't have a material object that you lust over, and they say, "Hey, this is my yada yada."
Not really.
Yeah, see, I'm not.
I have an old baseball bat about that big. My dad made it on a metal lathe, and it's brass, I believe. It's pretty cool, but I can live without it. But I love it. I still have it.
Yeah, actually, I'm that's the same way I am, Brian. I don't have a prized possession in particular. I don't think. I'll think about that one. But as far as it goes, I'm not a material object person. I don't really care about that much anything. I mean, it's like I have a couple dolls, oddly enough.
Wow.
For my childhood, when I was a little baby, which I kind of like. I kind of enjoy having that doll.
Now, so you have dolls.
I have dolls, little baby dolls from when I was a baby, and a couple of them somewhere in all my stuff. I kind of like those. It was like it just reminds me of my childhood, being in my playpen and having these. They're my first friends, really. It was like I didn't have any friends but use a little doll. It's funny, but it's true.
This right here is actually beyond the baseball bat. This belonged to my mom, and she had it on her shelf, and she always sewed for people. So
hey, you know what, Brian? That's actually a really neat. It's really neat. But we should do a show and tell someday. Yeah, there we go.
Cool. Well, this was her life of sewing. She experienced life sewing. She had watched shows, but not actually watch them. She would listen to our conversations, get involved, and she was always sewing. So I got this after she passed away. I'd say this is my prized possession.
Well, I didn't know your mom was a tiny person, but that's nice to know.
She was 5'4". She was 5'4" most of my life, and then as I got older, she was 5'3". So.
I was thinking she's like 5'3" inches. No, it just seemed weird. That's cool. That's super cool. Now, by the way, does it actually sew?
No. I think one of her customers gave it to her. She had not a lot of customers, but they're regulars. They come over, have coffee. she would charge like $2 to hem your pants. It wasn't about the money, it was the socialization. It was really cool. They all
Oh,
had
yeah.
her.
No. Speaking of which, I need to have some hemming done. So
Yeah.
if there's any way that you know anything, somebody else can do it for me, let me know. If there's a way for me to get it done, because there's got to be a hemming way.
Yeah. Well, I think you go on Facebook once you're able to get back in.
Yeah,
Go to
sheesh.
Facebook and look up stuff like that, services. There's a lot of people helping people on this.
Yeah, no, actually, I have enough friends. I'll say, hey, who does sewing? Who can hem my is there anybody that could hem my curtains?
Yeah. Well, I just saw a picture. Somebody's doing this thing called Life is Good. Every day she shows a picture why life is good. It was a gal I went to high school with in grade school, and she showed a picture of our third grade class. And I had a shirt, a really nice shirt my mom had made. So that was the first thing that stuck out. It was a memory 56 years.
Sure. Your mom made it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom, she did some hemming a little bit with her kids, but her mom did a lot of that stuff for us. So
Well, there was one disconcerting thing about that picture though. I'm in the middle row or second row. The person on my left and the person on my right have both passed away. That was weird.
yeah, that sucks.
Long
Well, somebody's got it out of the, out of 4 people in your life.
Yeah.
Most of them have to pass away sometime. Hopefully it's not you,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah, but to be in the middle between nobody in the class has one on the left, one on the right that died.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That was
Whereas,
not good.
yeah, that's no good.
Yeah.
Sad.
Old friends. One of them passed away just a year or two ago, and then the other one was an old girlfriend that I had in 8th grade. Became a girlfriend and boyfriend in 8th grade. She passed away in the 90s, but yeah, it was pretty cool seeing that class picture.
Yeah, I had a gentleman in my class pass away last week. And his name was Keith. He was actually one of my friends since like kindergarten.
I knew him a little bit. He was a
Yeah.
video editor. He was always working on editing. I bet he got really good.
Yeah, he was actually pretty talented with the video stuff, but I think he had his own demons that plagued him a little bit. And I don't refer to actual demons, but I refer to, well, let's say personal demons, so everybody knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, he was actually a nice kid, but we got into a couple of scuffles throughout our years. I don't know why, because I don't know, he was a friend of mine. But when you're a friend that long, you get in these little, fights and stuff, So
he was doing stuff for a church, and he also was really into learning this Final Cut editing, which was the top of the state-of-the-art editing system. And he knew quite a bit. He went to all the classes at KLTV and took advantage of it. So I actually liked the guy. I didn't know him well.
Yeah. Well, no, I like the guy though. He's my friend from kindergarten or so, not kindergarten, but maybe, I don't know, 2nd grade. I don't know. I'll find out. Look in my school books. But yeah, no, he was a fun guy. He just liked to have too much fun apparently. So, which is sad. It's funny. I'm looking at my hand right here. Actually,
Do you know what actually happened? Do you have any idea?
I do not yet. I don't know, but I do know from a public record that he had some issues in the last year or two. So it appears that those demons have caught up with him somehow. So, you know what I mean?
Sounds like a Newsmax feature.
Yeah, I'm not quite certain.
We have no facts, but here's the news.
Well, yeah.
You're assuming,
obituary.
You're assuming, but he may have got hit by a car. We don't know. Do we know how he died?
I don't. No, it wasn't in the paper. It just said obituary and his name, and
Yeah.
So I got some. Let's see if I can speak correctly. I received some text messages last week saying, "Do you know if this is true?" Yada yada, and then more people have texted me and asked me if it was they knew about it. So apparently it is true, and sadly, he's 47 years old.
Dang.
And yeah, I feel bad for him. Although it's funny, I go like this, and although you can't see it, I can. There's a scar on my right knuckle right there.
Wow, from him.
from him. Yeah,
Wow, that's cool.
stupid kid stuff, you know.
Stupid kid stuff. I'm trying to cover up the turkey neck. That's still a thing. I got to shoot from up. That's what they were saying in Facebook Live. Shoot from above a little bit, come down.
Yeah, no,
I-
so that's
I had the chin.
so whenever I do my little I don't know, my little thinking man right there, I can always see Keith right in front of my face. That's funny. Not
Wow.
funny, but yeah.
Well, rest in peace, Keith.
Rest in peace, Keith. Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. See, I actually want to cry there because I've known for so long. I remember going to his birthday in 5th grade, going to my first hydro tubes in Oregon. They had one down by Portland. There was some hydro tube places down there, and it was a super cool place. But yeah, more power to you, Keith. You know, rest in peace, I guess. You know.
Well, we got into that whole conversation because that picture is a 3rd grade picture. But
yeah,
that's kind of a cool thing, though. Life is good, and you have to show some reason life is good for 30 days or something. I don't know what the limit is, but that's a good Facebook activity instead of calling people douchebags and
right.
ass hats and all that, because we've already called all the names. It's over.
Yeah, well, I'm looking for some new names. New names I can handle, folks. You got some new names to call somebody? Let us know. Right down there in the subscription and your comments. By the way, I do appreciate if you guys could pound and like the subscription and like this episode if you can. That'd be great.
Like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And if you don't like it, go ahead and tell us why.
Yeah. I've noticed all those how-to videos, they start off, say what they're going to talk about, and then they say who they are, then they say, be sure to like and subscribe, and they have links below, like repairs, electrical repairs. They'll show you the links to all the products you have to buy. It's pretty good.
Well, if we're going to like something, we'll tell you what we're going to do today, folks. We're going to talk about silly little things. We're going to talk about questions to make you ponder, to make you think. So the next question for Brian right now, so you can write these down yourself.
Yeah.
If you could have an exotic animal, which would it be?
I'd like an actual Black Panther if I could train it enough to not kill me.
Well, you know, as far as it goes, I think that, you know, most Black Panther weren't all militant, so probably wouldn't kill you, you know.
Well, but the Black Panther itself, that's a cool icon. And then there's like a football team, the Panthers, they got a cool logo. That'd be a cool animal. They're sleek and strong and dangerous.
Yeah, no, I think all cats like that, they're sleek and cool looking, you know, you're right.
Yeah.
And I like the way they growl.
A little cooler looking to me than like
the way they growl, you know, wow, everything.
Like a leopard is okay, but it's not that cool looking to me compared to just the sleek Black Panther.
Sadly, I'd like to have a monkey behind me. Just he can pick up behind me, or if I drop something, he can pick up and hand to me. You know.
Is that because 2 testicles is just too many? Because they'll rip you, they go right for the middle and they rip the balls and
rip your face off. Rip your
face,
yeah.
They don't mess with your arms much, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, yeah. No, I think it'd be great to have somebody hand you your stuff every time you drop something. It'd be great. Just a little, there you go. Ooh, thank you. I drop stuff so often. It'd be just very beneficial, you know.
I always got the feeling monkeys secretly hated their owners and waited for the day to rip their face and balls off. And
I couldn't believe it.
Edginess to monkeys of all kinds. Edginess, the little ones, especially chimpanzees. Yeah, they want to kill.
I think like everybody else in particular, if you treat somebody correctly, they're not going to rip your balls off. I can tell you right now, I know some women that probably like to, you know, rip your balls off, Brian.
But they can get frustrated from somebody else and you're with them and they go after you. And they're just so strong.
The women or the monkeys?
The monkeys.
Oh,
they're so strong that if they get agitated, they may not mean to kill you, but they probably
I get it.
Destroy you.
Yeah, they can be pretty
cute.
They can be ferocious, yeah. Well, I think maybe just a spider monkey, you know, a little spider monkey on my shoulders. I mean, I wasn't thinking like a chimpanzee, orangutan, or gorilla, but
Well, there was a guy, a professor at Central Washington University. He had chimpanzees, taught him sign language. And I believe he lost a finger from him. And then one of them lifted him up and pulled him up into a tree with him. And he knew how scary they were, but he did train him pretty well, but he lost one finger. So.
was a chimpanzee?
Yeah.
Wow. I watched a show the day before yesterday that talked about animals if they had to fight. So they talked about gorillas versus like a brown bear or a grizzly bear, and if they could fight and stuff, And while they said the bear would probably do the most damage because it's more ferocious actually. And the monkey's got the gorilla's got a bigger bite, a harder bite.
Yeah, I think if the gorilla could just bound in really quick and get its arms around the bear, could crush it. It's strong, but I don't know. It's the claw of the bear. Apparently, we're worried about the mouth.
Yeah, the claw, and just their strength in general, and they can run like 60 miles an hour or 40 miles an hour or something like that.
Yeah, I've actually seen many podcasts about the bear versus the gorilla.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of arguments and different things, and a lot of people talk about it. That's the big one, like lion versus bear, things like that.
Or lion versus tiger.
Yeah, I think the
fact that they're not on the same land, that it's okay, You never find out. What about
I don't know. Are lions and tigers ever together?
No, they're not, because tigers are in like East India and Africa, and lions are in Africa, so they're like different continents.
I think lions are in other continents too.
Oh well, you have lions, mountain lions here actually.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy to think about. The mountain lions we have here are, I think the cougars and the lions are very similar, if they're not the same thing.
Yeah, I think the cougar is actually a part of the panther family.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I've seen a cougar. One time in my office, I used to have an office right by the river, and I had a gal who literally, I pulled in the parking lot, and I walked over by her car, and I saw this what appeared to be a giant cat. I looked closer and closer, and it was a cougar. And I'm like, oh, she's got a pet cougar. That's pretty strange. And all of a sudden, in 2 seconds, that thing is literally, or in 1 second, jumped up on top of her car, just sat there. It was the nicest thing in the world. It was on a string, and you had a leash on it. But I was like, okay, I'm done for the day. And because she wanted to walk around the building and stuff. But she explained to me where it came from. She bought it at a store, convenience store, and they had the puppies or the kittens for sale. I'm trying to think where it was. It was some old little town with a little gas station, out in the woods somewhere, nearby here. I mean, I'm like, wow, they sell kittens still, cougar kittens and stuff. It was nuts.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you were right. Check this out. The question is, do they live in the same habitat than down here? If they do not live in the same habitat, lions inhabit tropical grasslands, Asia and the savanna in Africa. Okay, and they don't, so that's good. I like it.
Yeah, different continents.
Yeah, different areas.
Yeah, but you still have
to make a 1 minute break, so you have to entertain the troops.
Go ahead, folks. I think it's they do have ligers and tigons, and the lions and the tigers. If you don't know about this, I'm sure everybody knows about this, but we have the ligon, which is let's see here. See if we can find a ligon here. Okay. Maybe not. I'm laughing here at myself, but I'll tell you right now, we've got, where's a Tigon? That's what it is, Tigon. Yeah, see, that's a half tiger, half lion. You can see here, folks, people, they do, apparently do mate. Sorry about that. But they have a, right there, a Tigon, which is half tiger, half lion. They've got ligers too. So if the male is a, whatever the male is, tiger, and a lion female, they call it Tigon. And then they've got the liger, which is Liger. And they are huge. I have seen pictures of them. I mean, this thing are absolutely ginormous. Look at the size of this tiger or ligon.
Wow.
Tigon. Yeah, that's nuts. They do breed though. It's just they can breed and they do breed, and they are, look at the size. I mean, they might be fake, but that thing is just like insane. And yeah, liger. Yeah, look at the size of that thing. That's ridiculous. I don't know if that's gotta be the biggest dang cat in the world right there. I mean, well, it says biggest leg on facts. Yeah.
Looks
So I don't know.
shape, man. I'll be honest. Looks a little heavy in the middle.
Yeah. Well, it does. I mean, they all look huge. It looks kind of fat, but it's like it ate a rhino or something.
Tyson in his prime could have beat it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I don't know. Liger versus lion. So there's a liger and there's a lion right there. Look at the size of the differences on those things.
Wow.
Wow.
Think these are real?
I think so.
That looks Photoshop.
It does. Liger versus lion fight. Maybe, yeah. I don't know. It's hard to tell these things. I think that I don't know, folks. That's how that happened right there. Now this right here, that's horrible. Wow. I don't want to see that. That's nasty. Wow.
I'm wondering about these pictures. They look a little fake.
It's a good possibility right here.
Yeah, that's fake as heck, but it's funny.
I don't know if it's yeah, I'm sure it's fake, but yeah, Tigon versus Liger side by side. Yeah, I don't know. It's like dragons. Do they actually exist? No, I don't think they exist anymore, but I think they did. I don't know why they wouldn't have. It only makes sense. Okay. Stop
Ligers
sharing.
are real and the pandemic's a hoax. Okay, there you go.
Right. Yeah.
Same line of thinking. So I like that though, because the Photoshop has gotten better.
Yeah. I don't know what. I know they're in there. Like I said, I know they're on their own different continents, but I do believe they can mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've come a long way from that Bigfoot photo where the guy had a costume on.
Yeah. Well, exactly. And even then, there's still debate on that one because
Oh, they debate on that, even though they have a receipt for purchasing the costume from the guy.
Oh, it's
They
still
better
debatable.
not.
Everything.
If they're debating that, they got issues.
Well, they say there's, they know some guy bought a costume, but for that picture, it's a different story. I don't know. I'll have to look back
He
into
bought a
that. but I know that-
costume. He bought a costume, and he was with the guy who took the picture. That's a little.
Yeah, but
If you had that much evidence, you could say the election was fixed and win. So that's all you need. There was a perfect costume. The costume matched the picture. The guy was
Right.
with the photographer.
yeah. See, there you go.
The picture of the guy wearing the costume. It's all.
But if you're not the photographer, then you'll never know, right? If you're not the guy who developed the pictures themselves,
That was.
I don't know. I just know there's
Thought that there were people that thought that was real.
well, a lot of people thought that was real for a long time, and
I don't know anybody that did, but
thought the picture was real.
yeah, I know nobody that I have no friends that believe that was. We even then we laughed and knew this is fake.
Yeah. Wow.
Guy
Well,
in a costume. We'd watch Gilligan's Island. There'd be a guy in a giant gorilla costume, and we knew it was a costume. Yeah, that was weird. People.
we knew it was cost. We knew that was a costume for sure. I think that, but from 70 until probably 80s, or 80s, 90s, they still said that was a, wasn't costume, that was somebody, that was something
I
else.
don't think that anybody in the mainstream ever accepted it as real. It was more like the crazy people, the wackos that were into conspiracy theories even back then. They believed it was real. I didn't know.
Well, I think Bigfoot's is still a conspiracy.
Yeah,
I went to the Bigfoot things here in town. We started having a Squatch Fest here about 4 years ago, actually, and we have professionals from all over the world that say, hey, there is some type of beast out there in the woods
Oh, yeah.
that there's, bigger than a human, and it's a Yeti, or it's depending on where you're at from the, abominable snowman, or
Yeah, there was even something called the Giganticus or something like that that did exist. The Bigfoot may not be out there anymore. It may have existed at one time, but yeah, that suit was just hilarious. Kids knew it wasn't real. Little kids.
yeah. Well, little kids are smarter than most people then, because it
Oh,
was,
we were all raised on television where they come out in suits. Even Planet of the Apes, the original, was pretty good, but we knew they weren't real apes. They were
yeah.
actors.
Well, I don't know, yeah. I guess I was a kid too, and when I first saw that when I was a little kid, I believed it, but I mean, I was 10 years, 20 years younger than you, so whatever. But how 10 years don't matter. But I mean, yeah, I'll admit that
15.
I'll admit that I was I was a little
Well,
kid, and I was told.
Our generation was considered much less gullible than the next one. They fell for everything.
There you go. Well, yes, because if you guys all pulled tricks on us, that's why,
We knew that Marcia didn't really break her nose in that video when the football hit it, but there were people.
She did. Marcia broke her, and I think that they actually, took that piece of Hawaiian artifact that they, and then all of a sudden,
That's totally a different episode. I think this.
Oh, it's 100% different. But what I always wanted to go to though. They went to a lost town in America, which was basically a ghost town.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to that ghost town. I still do, actually. There are ghost towns here.
Or something.
Yeah, there are ghost towns here in America still.
Yeah.
And there's actually a lawless town in America too. Do you know that? The town without any laws.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. No, actually, it's down in California. I can't remember the name of it. It's out in the desert, and it's a lost town, but it has no laws, so you can do whatever you want. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, kind of, sort of.
There are state laws and federal laws, so they could arrest you in that town.
Yeah, I mean, they don't do anything, and they have no. You can get away with whatever you want out of that place.
The feds would come in. They'd immediately state and feds would come in.
I'm telling you now, it's a place that has no laws. It's against. It's beyond all borders and stuff. It's in California. I can't remember where it's at, but it's
has no federal laws.
No federal laws, no laws whatsoever. And I can't remember the name of the town, but it's down there in the desert. I have to look it up.
I'll go ahead and
look up America town with no laws, and it's
California.
It's in California somewhere. It's in the desert there. I'm pretty sure it's
like Death Valley.
Something like that. Yeah, it's near Death Valley. That's why they call it Death Valley. No, but it's not Nevada. I would have thought it'd been Nevada, but it's not. It's in California, I think. I'm pretty sure. Or I would have thought in New Mexico or Nevada, but it's not. It's actually in California. If I remember correctly. Huh?
Slab City, they're saying it is.
Slab City, yeah, Slab City. That's there's no law. That's pretty odd, but
But they're still subject to the federal and state laws. So there are laws. There's just no local.
Is that what it says? I don't know.
Well, that's the Constitution.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. When Slab City says they don't have no laws, I don't know.
Yeah.
If they're
there's no local laws. They're subject to all the laws of our country and the state. So they're not a separate entity. They're actually considered a city in the state of California. But that'd be worth watching.
I have watched. If you look at Slab City on YouTube, there's some good videos of some young men go through there and they stay there for a couple of days and like going. It's weird. They could just and there's no you're on your own.
But if you committed a murder, the feds would come in and you'd go to prison.
I don't know. Is that the way it works?
Yeah, the Constitution, even, we could say Eastern Washington, we have no laws. Well, you still have federal laws, whether you think you have none or not. Like, if Longview has no laws, the federal government still does.
Well, that's not completely true. I mean, you have the Indian reservations, not Indian reservations in particular.
Well, yeah, that's a different story.
But that's the same thing as this Slab City, I think, honestly, maybe figure it out. But yeah, so if you kill somebody, you're on any reservation, you're not bound to federal laws, which is weird. You've got your own reservation
No,
laws.
I think you're liable federal laws, but not for county laws and state laws. I think the feds can still get you anywhere.
Well, let's think about that movie with Val Kilmer years ago. He went back to the reservation to find a murder, and they didn't have to give him up. He had to find that they had their own little laws on the reservation, and they can do whatever they want. I mean, it's their land, so literally it's their land, so and their laws. I'm not quite certain, folks. Anybody knows, educate us in the comments down below. Tell us how stupid we are, because we're just figuring this whole thing out called life. We don't really know.
Yeah,
But
it's a good question though, dude. Yeah, federal laws apply on Indian reservations. There's nowhere in this country where you're not subject to federal laws that I know of.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
So they have federal laws. So if you kill somebody in Slab City, the feds are coming.
oh well, folks.
If you smoke
let's
pot,
not-
if you smoke pot in Slab City before it was legal, the feds gonna come in just to bust you for that. Think about that.
Weird, yeah, because I don't. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think.
when I hear lawless, I'm like going, okay, well, that's the laws. Not city laws. Obviously, don't care about city laws, state laws, but federal laws. I mean, I don't know. When I think lawless, I think of exactly that. Going to a place and anything can happen. Who's whether it be murder, rape,
No, that's not.
theft.
People like to think that, I guess.
Yeah, that's well. I mean, what's the difference if a law is a law type of thing? But according to if it says it has no laws, then what does that mean?
Well, the city has no law. But that doesn't matter because the country has laws that can be, enforced in those cities. So
Yeah, I'm not familiar with all that lawyer stuff.
yeah, well, that's pretty basic.
Kansas City law dog.
The Fed can get anywhere in America.
I don't know. Yeah, you'd think so, but
Well, no, that's in the Constitution, and I just read that. Feds can arrest you for anything on an Indian reservation, no matter where you are.
really,
Yeah, well, that's what the Constitution's about.
well, if you're on
all America,
Area 51, it's a government installation.
yeah, they can arrest you. They can arrest you for being in area.
No. What I'm saying is that you're on there and something happens to you. Who's going to arrest you? Can the FBI come and arrest you?
I would think so. Whoever
Who
has
takes-
jurisdiction,
Let's say who has jurisdiction on such a thing like that?
I would say the FBI probably. They're the most powerful law enforcement in the country.
Are they really?
Well, technically.
That's a little. Are they really? You've got these weird groups that are these factions that are above everybody else. We don't even know if they, and I know for a fact I've actually looked down and see things. I've read things about like the people are, they're so far above everybody else in the government. I'm going, I don't mean to be conspiracy theory on people or on things, but it gets pretty hazy. Some of these laws do,
Well,
it's like there's a group called the Trilateral Commission. They're
Yeah,
like above everybody else from what I've heard,
yeah,
in the world, I don't know if that's part of the Illuminati or if that's just part of the Trilateral Commission or what that is. But if you ever want to get and follow that rabbit hole, folks, look under Trilateral Commission and see who's part of that. And supposedly they are the ones who run the banking, the world, and everything. So, I don't know who's above who. And so FBI, CIA, I don't know, the Men in Black, literally, something like that, There's just too much stuff out there. It's like follow the bouncing ball.
Yeah.
Where does the power, does the power rest in the president himself? No,
Oh, I think
it
he's
doesn't.
pretty much like a puppet in a sense. They say
Yeah, so that's
J. Edgar Hoover controlled all the presidents under his watch for 38 years. He ran
Yep.
something on everybody.
So that's what I think. That's what Donald Trump failed to recognize when he wanted to become this leader of America. He wanted to become this. He literally wanted to kind of become our dictator. And
we wanted to control the world, but the problem is somebody already does. That whole Trilateral Commission and the Illuminati actually goes deeper than that. Now they're saying one person runs it all, runs all those things.
And folks, just in case you don't know, you're looking at him right here. I tell you, folks, I was given this position years and years ago by somebody in of higher authority.
Yeah.
And so if you want something done, you need to know the guy. There you go. That's my thing, is I know the guy.
But in reality here, yeah, that's what it is. Not a trilateral. You have a Trilateral Commission, Illuminati, all run by one person. Controls all that.
Yeah, but who's that? If that's true, that's the whole thing. If that's true, who's that one person? Is it the Rothschild? Is it the
No, we can't
Satan?
know. The minute we know, it ends it. So there's the minute we know, it ends the whole thing. So this person is so secretive, nobody would mention the person. So that one person controls everything, and then it passes along to the next generation. But we think
that's where I have an issue with. I have an issue with,
one person.
What happens if that person has a heart attack?
They have a line of succession or succession. One
So
to
that
the
person
other.
is that person actually Queen Elizabeth then, or?
Oh, no, you can't know. The minute you know, that person is found out. So one person controls the Illuminati and the Trilateral Commission and all that stuff.
See,
Yeah.
that's funny. We all have our own rabbit holes. So while
Well,
Brian
that's
is,
on the dark web. That's established, and that's as realistic as the Dominion voting machines.
I think that one person happens to be a Bigfoot, and he's probably the guy that was down that picture that you saw. See, that's the funny part about that.
We don't even know if the one person is a man or a woman. We assume it's a man, but we don't know. Go on the dark web, and they have confirmed it. They also confirmed that Dominion cheated on the election, but that's okay. And the Earth is flat. The Earth is flat.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. People actually believe that stuff.
Well,
There's
that's
a
why
whole.
people even believe this whole Illuminati thing, which might be true. Doesn't matter if it is. What are you going to do? If they're that powerful, there's nothing you can do, because if you find out, if you reveal who one of them is, the rest of them eat him alive, basically destroy him, say he's a bad person, has nothing to do with them. They have a system where they destroy each other if they have to. So,
well, the problem is you start there's factual issues on all of it and so much fake gossip on it. So the Trilateral Commission is real. The
well, how do you know it's
real? Bohemian Grove is real.
Well, Bohemian Grove's real, but it's just a bunch of drunk idiots.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that
the Trilateral Commission, I don't believe, has been established as real. It's more of an, we say it exists, but it's not an official group. It's just.
Well, I think it's an official group. Their power, in particular, doesn't mean they're what their power is real. I don't know about that. I don't know about the Illuminati being real, but I guarantee there's people out there who get together with some pretty weird gatherings, such as the Bohemian Grove.
Yeah,
So
initiation into the Eagles is actually pretty weird.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, the Eagles is a better group, but
Yeah, the Trilateral Commission, I don't know much about it, but even if it is real, I don't see what anybody's going to do about it.
yeah, exactly. So the same as Illuminati and Bohemian Grove, they're too far above everybody else, you know.
Yeah, well, people do that. If things go well, they suddenly think they're better than other people. That happens. But I just think it's a waste. It's fun to talk about, but it's a waste of time to care about.
Yeah, well, yeah, Club 33, you know, does it really exist? I think it does. Actually, I know it does because I've been to it. I didn't get inside, but I know it exists.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing, actually. You know where Club 33 is at?
No, I never heard of it.
Club 33 is the Illuminati of Disneyland.
Oh, wow.
And so there is a place or two in each Disneyland for the creme de la creme. It literally costs like 10 years to get on the wait list. It's like cost $20,000 to join this club supposedly. And there's a hidden door. I had to research this, and then when I went to Disneyland, I found the doorway to Club 33, and there's a doorbell. I rang that doorbell, and they're like, "Sorry, we're closed." I'm like going. They said we're under construction. I said, "Oh, okay." Actually, the funny part about that is they said, I said, I rang the doorbell. I said my password. I said, like Walt. Oh, Walt sent me. You know, not they said something to me. I go, "Well, Walt sent me." I figured that became a funny thing. You know, Walt sent me. So it didn't work. They go, "Sorry, we're under construction." I'm like, "Oh, that's weird." But I found it. I was told about it, and because of my conspiracy theories in my own mind, I had to find it. If it was real or not. And I found it, man. It was like right there by Blue Bayou. Actually, the doorway. It's a hidden doorway. It looks like a bathroom, but it's not.
Wow.
Yeah, and it goes upstairs, and the whole area is like the billionaires club. So if you believe in the Illuminati, if you believe in Club 33, if you believe in the Trilateral Commission, if you believe in any of that stuff, you know, spend some time learning about it. It's a good one. It's
Bigfoot, DB Cooper, all of it. It's good stuff. But
Bigfoot, DB Cooper, witchcraft, all that kind of stuff. It's a good little you know, while you're bored on this pandemic land of ours, pandemic world, if you're stuck at home, find a conspiracy and dig into it, and you'll never be the same. Because
that's what they actually say is what the biggest problem during the pandemic is people with nothing to do seek out conspiracy theories, and then they go insane is what happens.
Oh yeah, well that's
the argumentative over everything.
Well, you know, the beginning of this whole thing that started that QAnon thing that the Democrats are eating puppies and little small children, and they're actually raising them in the ground, and that Donald Trump was going to save them. He was their savior. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? But you know what? Sorry, folks. QAnon is a total gimmick. So I just, I mean, but a lot of them, you know, people like to. I'm sure in other countries there's a lot more conspiracies. You know.
I don't think so.
I know, right?
There's a couple local legends and maybe some superstitions, and that's it. We've got conspiracies on everything.
We do. Area 51.
Think about that whole thing about voting machines with no proof whatsoever. They attacked Dominion voting, and then everybody's getting sued because it was totally made up.
Yeah, well, I hope they get sued because, you know, you can't ruin somebody because you don't like it.
Yeah. But
you can't ruin somebody because you don't like their hair. I know my hair looks gray on TV, but actually it's mostly brown, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's a weird look to it, but just because people think that it's one way doesn't mean you can't sit here and say 2 + 2 is 3, folks. I'm telling you right now, 2 + 2 is 3, and just continue to tell everybody that 2 + 2 is 3 over and over and over again until people believe you that. That's just not okay. I mean, facts are facts, figures are figures, and But I do know there's a problem is that we do know there's people out there who do like to manipulate things, their words, their verbiage. I
Yeah.
find that more on the right than I do on the left, but it's definitely true out there.
Well, people on both sides want to be a detective. They want to crack the case. So
Well, yeah,
any evidence, they immediately have a decision. It's like in court, you think about it, they investigate, they rule out everything. People don't like to rule out anything. You go, oh, there's a dent in my car with white paint. My neighbor has white
a white
paint.
car.
Yeah, white car. And you immediately go after that instead of getting more information, finding out the guy wasn't there when it happened, things like that. Rule it out first. People want to accuse right away.
Well, the fact that a UFO came down and it had a white colored, stripe on it means it probably hit your car. You just never know.
They thought they cracked the case because somebody moved some tables that one night at the election headquarters.
Right.
Yeah.
So
another guy went out and got lunch earlier. So, and that's enough to say, hey, see, it's proven it's illegal voting. No, there's no proof.
Well, the illegal voting on that whole thing was they said that there wasn't anybody in that room, or Republican in that room. And I'm like going, that's, it's just stupid. And it's being visually watching it on the camera. You don't have to be face to face watching it across America. Somebody's have to have somebody in the room saying, hey,
but
we don't have to.
People would act like they cracked the case just off saying that they wouldn't let a guy in the room instead of getting all the information, ruling out everything, and then
John Q. Public doesn't need to be in the office. It doesn't mean in the room. If you want to have it camcordered and watch it, great. But John Q. Public does not need to be in the operating room at the time. You know what I mean?
Well, I wouldn't mind if they figured out how to do that. It was just, I'd like somebody in there. I'd like the other party, both parties, to have a representative.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
They do that in UFC fighting. They have a guy that checks both fighters' gloves, and they have a person from each fighter's side watching.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is that you're not having them in the ring, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they're right there. You have a ref in the ring, a doctor.
So what I'm saying is that if they want to have somebody watching it from a camera right in front of you,
I think you have to have them in there. You have somebody from both parties in there, and you just can't be yelling and being. Yeah, they should allow somebody to watch. A representative from each major party can be in each room.
Well, I know that even in our own county, we have the ability to watch it in a camera up above. There's no reason why you can't need to be in the room.
But there shouldn't be a reason why one representative from each party, there's just two main parties, can't be in the room.
Normally I would say, yeah, okay.
What's the harm in that? Then you have in person and video.
Yeah, I just think that in every room in America, when you've got there was so much issues in regards to having somebody who was, I don't know. Well, I didn't want to have. I wouldn't want to have somebody. I wouldn't want to have somebody watching my every move every second, saying, "Hey, you know what? What's it? You didn't,
No, they can't talk. If you're allowing them to talk, they're there to observe. I would love it if I was a voting election worker and somebody was there overseeing, watching both parties watching, not bothering me, just watching. That's fine.
Well, that's what I thought they were doing with having the cameras right there in the room.
I'm saying a person. They wanted a person from each party, and I don't know if they allowed it or not, but there should be a person from each party watching. They don't have to say anything. Maybe they're not allowed to say anything. That's not hard at all.
But they were saying stuff that I just don't know why in particular.
Well, they didn't plan ahead, so then they were arguing, and it was bad. Yeah, it should have been planned ahead. Like in Cowlitz County, it would have been no problem. One Democrat from the Democratic Party, one from the Republican Party, sitting there watching without it, not being able to talk, not being able to get involved. You're an observer.
What's the point? What's the difference of observing it on camera right in front of you? We have the ability to watch it in a room above.
Watch the deep fake videos of Pelosi being drunk. Video is not enough. You also need a person. There's video of Pelosi being drunk at the Senate. It's not true. It's a deep fake. So have both. What's wrong with having a person?
just having extra bodies in the room is not, I don't think there's extra 2 people and there's extra 4 people because,
It seems like the truth would be more important than inconvenience.
well, the truth is that the camera's gonna see more than your eye's going to see.
And the
You know what I
camera
mean?
can do, and the cameras nowadays can do anything and make anything look real.
But if it's live, if you're watching it live,
Well, you could be watching it live and they could be changing it as it's live. That's easy. Or they could be actually pre-taping and claiming it's live. So have a guy from each party in there and you've covered it. It's inconvenient. I'm not sure why, but it's not even inconvenient. Now you have both people sign off. They were there. They observed it. If they have any problems, they can go to the election committee.
yeah, I think most of the time it'll be a problem. I don't think it'll be a problem at all,
But
but
during this election, they should have figured that out in advance. But they just didn't plan ahead very well, both parties.
yeah, I don't know. I think it's
Videos
silly.
Videos
I think it's
have-
silly. This election here has shown us that there has to be more regulation on everything, because if we don't have somebody watching it, if we don't have somebody, you've got people who are going to say it's the exact same thing right there that you're doing. There wasn't somebody in there with a size 10 shoe, and it's
Well,
ridiculous.
Not really. There's 2 major parties in the country, and if one rep from each party can be in there and not be able to discuss it, just be able to observe, they can.
Well,
even
that's what I'm
go
saying, is
through a
that-
window.
Is right now, if there's an issue with it, yes, you're right. So we've learned that from this last election, that there's all those problems that we learned from, and that's one of them. Somebody needs to be in the room or so there's not an issue with it next time,
Yeah, they might have all paper ballots next time, or they might realize that online, if done correctly, is the most effective and the safest way. Because
Yeah.
each vote has a confirmation number.
Well, I think it'd be pretty easy to do online, but
Yeah,
nowadays, if you want to check your thing, take your ID down to wherever and just check it, make sure that you voted for that person,
well, if you're voting online, you don't need an ID because you're online and you're already confirmed.
But you can see the whole time that your ballot goes into the one you want,
Yeah.
you can always confirm it, and
That would be nice, to be able to confirm your vote, and that way, if there's any question, you could bring it
Yeah.
back up. But
yeah,
people are conspiracy theorists are more afraid of that. So that'll probably never happen because they're like, you could easily change it online. Well, you could change it at the election facility. You could take each ballot, change it somehow. You could count it differently. You could do anything you want. If there's dishonesty at any level, there's going to be cheating.
right, that's true. But yeah, so folks, once again, check out the Trilateral Commission.
Yeah, that's pretty
And-
interesting. It's a real thing. Actually, a guy in 73, Rockefeller, started it. That's pretty wild. David Rockefeller.
Yeah, I heard that Barack Obama was part of the Trilateral Commission, and
Wow.
that's where but I think it's the American president probably is part of the Trilateral Commission, and that's probably the most
Oh.
important part about it. I don't think that they probably let Donald Trump in. I don't know. Maybe they did. You never know. But he was on his own little mission. So
Well, he could be the head of it, and his whole plan is to act like he was insane and do all that crazy stuff, so they wouldn't think he was the leader of the whole world. So,
right, you never know. Well, I heard he's trying to come back, and we have 500,000 deaths, folks, here in America, caused by the administration's incompetency in the last couple of years. So
well, I disagree. I think part of it is from Trump, part of it's from a lot of it's Cuomo and just different governors.
well, either way,
he's part of it. But
to each their own. I believe that the way that we handle this whole thing from beginning to end has been a disaster. So yeah, and I think
pandemic, it only happens usually about every 100 years. So.
right. Well, we're not done with this one yet. So although the numbers are going down and dwindling quite a bit, so that's really nice.
The last 3 or 4 have been 2 years, and it was 17, 20, 18, 20, 19, 20, and 2020. So
Well, it's 1950 as well.
50, there was no major pandemic.
Yeah, there was. It was
Don't say polio.
there's polio. Yeah.
Well, that wasn't like that. That was a different thing. There's a problem, but it wasn't to that level. It wasn't 100-year pandemic.
Well, no, it was obviously not 100 years.
500,000, yeah.
Yeah, but there was, 1920, there was one, 1880, I think it was.
1820, 1920, 1720. Yeah, polio, they called it an epidemic, not quite pandemic.
Yeah. Well, maybe, yeah. Well, we eradicate things here in America and they still go up somewhere else. So that's,
Yeah.
you know,
There's major ones every 100 years, and it's kind of interesting that's on the 20 every time.
yeah. I don't know. So conspiracy theory on that one, folks. What do you think? I think that it may not be the 20s, it could be the 30s, 10s, or 15s. You never know.
Yeah.
But it has been the last 18, something like that, the last couple of 100 years. So that's pretty, odd. But
Yeah, polio is a major polio epidemic.
okay, we are way past time
Not
here,
a
folks. By the way,
pandemic.
we are way past time. So we're gonna have to call it good. It's 10:30 right now. Actually, I don't know how this lasted that long. How did we get
No
here? This long?
idea. We got off on a rabbit hole, they call it.
Angie, we have to close this one down a little bit.
My
and
gosh,
make it
no wonder I had to
smaller.
go to the bathroom.
But
Okay, we
how-
found it out.
How did we get so long on here? That's
Oh,
weird.
no.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. You are a little slow. Ready?
Okay, go. You're not supposed to be looking. 1, 2, 3. I got it.
You did. There we go.
That's
Hey, we
good.
pounded it out.
I'm out of here. That was
All right,
wild.
thanks to the Pound Hour, folks. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll chit chat a little bit later. And I will
Give
end
me a
this right
call.
now.
Get a hold of me soon.
I will.